I want to discuss sniping in video games. Now, snipers in most games have a very common theme. Do big damage long range, scared of die close range. Oh my god. Monado. Oh, fucking nerd. You're such a fucking nerd for naming your fucking lightsaber melee the fucking Monado. You fucking weeaboo. You actual fucking weeb. Touch grass, get some bitches. For the love of God, go outside, you fucking nerd. And for the most part, they succeed in that kind of design philosophy. But there's a few examples that kind of work on a scale that I want to bring up as to how those rules can be set up, broken, and ruined. To start off with, some of my bias is going to be showing through a little bit. I want to be starting with Team Fortress 2. Team Fortress 2 is by no means a perfect game. It's not even that good of a game necessarily. But it does succeed in one aspect, I would say. That being the sniper. The sniper is characterized by a few things. At long range, he is by far the strongest class in the game. He can one-shot every other class. The only thing you can do to resist that one shot is be uber charged or have enough overhealth to not die to a quick scope, and maybe things like the Fists of Steel. Meanwhile, his weakness is significant. At close range, you're not as reliable. You're much more liable to being one-shot. For example, snipers' worst matchups tend to be agreed to be Scout and Spy. Scout, because he can flank, you're much more liable to being rushed down and killed yourself. Sniper himself doesn't have any direct counterplay. Meanwhile, Spy has the ability to one-shot Sniper with counterplay, and yet he can still two-shot the Sniper without him even seeing. Not only that, but at close range, effectively every other class is a better duelist with the exception of Medic, who is not supposed to duel at all. Now, there are some wrinkles in Sniper's design philosophy. I'm bringing him up first because I want to show the duality of good and bad design. Stock Sniper is an example of how the better player can still win that close range interaction. Oh! You can still land those close range one-shots. It's really hard, but you can do it and it's very rewarding. Your melee, assuming random crits are off, are an inconsistent way to force an enemy out if you have backup from your team, and then your SMG is a way to pester an enemy player if you're able to land additional damage beforehand, like a body shot from your sniper rifle with a little bit of charge, or a headshot onto classes like Pyro, Soldier, or Demoman. However, his unlocks kind of fuck with this a bit, most notably Jarate and the Bushwhacker. When Jarate is used, all enemies nearby the radius are afflicted with mini crits, which is 1.35 times damage. The Bushwhacker turns mini crits into regular crits, making that 1.35 times boost into a tripled boost, as well as having the Huntsman being a mid-ranged weapon that has better effectiveness at close range thanks to a faster charge time, as well as being able to be followed up on by an SMG even easier, as well as random crits, muddling this balance even further. A sniper with random crits is basically a one-shot machine. Now, a very bizarre example of positive snipers is in Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 2. Now, Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 2 is a game that's slightly off the radar, starting to be up on the up and coming a little bit more lately, though. Now, I know I don't look any different, but I'm currently in the process of editing this video, and I'm just looking back at some of the B-roll I got. I was so excited to play this game. Look at this. I just want an excuse to play this game. Oh, the featured on my damn channel. And if that's not the sound of a man in love, I don't know what is. A lot of YouTubers are starting to understand how good this game really is and starting to give it more appreciation. For example, Muse recently uploaded a video that has gotten 74,000 views in 8 days. Seriously guys, this video is a fucking riot. I'm watching it now, actually, for the first time. I just saw it on YouTube and assumed it'd be good because it has a lot of views. No, this shit's amazing. Go watch this. This guy's a riot. Talking about how Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 2 is an excellent game. So, Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 2 is on the rise again with a lot of dedicated fans, believe it or not. And one thing that they had to do in order for this game to succeed is get the snipers right. In this game, there are two snipers, the Cactus and the Deadbeard. Neither one of them have one-shots actually, but both of them have different unlocks that can give them more damage, stronger kill power, and better range. However, they also have unlocks that allows them to spec into closer range combat. They have the ability to play as a true sniper, as a mid-range duelist, or long-range assassin. And most of all, they can never one-shot, but with headshots, they can usually still two-shot enemies from any range. For a game like Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 2, with a fairly high type of kill, all things considered, even higher than Overwatch at times, it's a very good balanced decision to not let the snipers one-shot. You can still get kills very quick at longer ranges, but A, you're still vulnerable because of your hitbox size at close range, and B, because you're so reliant on those critical hits, as well as having no real fallback options except for the setup that she can provide, as well as the fact that there's no backup options except for the setup you can build with your walnuts and your potato mines. Cactus also has the ability to scout out enemy positions with the Garlic, which can also act as an artillery strike. God, this game is so fun, man. The sniper can scout enemy positions, figure out where they're playing from, and then prepare an assault accordingly. The Deadbeard does the same exact thing. He has a bird, which allows him to check enemy positions and scout effectively, just like Cactus with Garlic. Then he has two different abilities, one of which makes him more effective at close range, and the other makes him more effective at mid-range. However, all of this is at a cost. His close range survivability is very low. His head hitbox is absolutely massive, as well as the rest of his body being fairly big. And his close range damage is actually quite meager because he relies on a spread shot that has very drastic spread and very drastic fall off. And his abilities all have significant startup. The barrel is vulnerable to being outsped very easily. The cannon has a lot of startup time, so you can't just pop it in a duel. And the bird is not really viable in close range self-defense. The weakness of the Deadbeard is maintained, just like it is for the Cactus. Snipers in Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 2, well balanced, well designed for their game. And the biased final pick that I want to talk about is, of course, the worst option, Overwatch. They hurt you. No, let me live, please, let me live, no! Now, in Overwatch, they kind of break all of the preset rules that I've been discussing about sniper balance. They should be weak at close range. Widowmaker is somewhat weak at close range. She has a large hitbox compared to how she's actually visualized. Her ability to one-shot is fairly dependent on slower moving targets, which if you're close to a Widowmaker, you're inherently moving faster, and her SMG does not do a lot of damage. However, she has a very potent repositioning tool in her grappling hook that's on a relatively reasonable cooldown. She's able to get from position to position reliably, as well as escaping enemies with it, which means that you have two chances to try to kill her, which means that she has two chances to kill you. At longer ranges, Widowmaker loses effectiveness. She can't one-shot you past a certain range, which, in a game with low enough time to kill like Overwatch, is a significant problem. She doesn't even two-shot you because of how slow shots are to recharge and how fast enemy positions can change. Meanwhile, the other primary sniper is Hanzo, and Hanzo's problem is that he's bullshit. Hanzo's main job is spamming through chokes. That's it. He's not a sniper. He's a mid-range spam hero. He has a very, very strong close-range duelist option with his storm arrows. He has a good mid-range option with his sonar arrow, and a good mid-range ultimate with Dragon Strike. These aren't sniper tools. These are mid-range spam tools. So this sniper character is designed around mid-range, not sniping. Hanzo feels like he has a conflicting design, like he's built up to be a sniper character, and yet he's designed in a way that makes him more akin to something like Junkrat, something like Symmetra, rather than a sniper. And the final sniper to discuss, who is technically a sniper, not Ashe, but Ana. Ana's sniping capabilities actually kind of exceed Widowmaker now at extremely long ranges, and that might sound irrelevant, but she can actually 3-shot Widowmaker at certain ranges. Widowmaker is actually disadvantaged on some maps against Ana. So I do have another video planned in the future, which I've actually finished the script for, talking about my balance philosophy for the game and what I call the Munster patch. But for now, what do I want to see changed about the game? And specifically, the sniper conundrum. Well, for Widowmaker, it's very simple. Give her the Team Fortress 2 treatment, prevent her from getting one-shots at close range against everybody except for Tracer, and give her back her long-range one-shot. Snipers should be dangerous at long range. They shouldn't be dangerous at close range. She can still hit a close range headshot, which is still impressive, and follow it up with a quick volley from her SMG to finish the kill. Or with proper Venom Mine placement, that might just finish the kill itself. You preserve the hype of a close range Widowmaker with more counterplay. If she grapples away, she can put herself into range to potentially one-shot you, but you have the ability to counterplay that by just getting back into her face. But if she can keep her distance, she's rewarded. Meanwhile, for Hanzo, it's a very simple change. Give him back his one-shot on 2 heroes that he doesn't have it on anymore, and make it so that his arrows are visible. This is something that Team Fortress 2 even had the foresight to do years ago. If you have a mid-range spam arrow option that has a large hitbox and forgiving sizes, it should be more noticeable and easier to track than the hit scan option. So giving Hanzo tracer rounds, i.e. make the arrows light up in the air, would just make it so that he's easier to deal with because you know exactly where he's spamming and how he's spamming. You could absolutely give him a compensation buff, make his arrows go a little bit faster, make it so that his ultimate's better. I don't care. You can make Hanzo better in areas that aren't his mid-range spam. Give him maybe a little bit more in the sniping game. As for Ana, as you can see, the problem that Ana has, that she can duel the other 2 snipers despite being a supportive character, is gone with these simple balance changes, as well as Kiriko and Illari having the same ability. So we don't need to realistically change Ana. We could give her a damage falloff, but that goes against the design philosophy of the hero. As for Team Fortress 2, it's a very simple answer. Make it so the Bushwalker and Girardi are more punishing if you don't use them correctly, and make it so that then the sniper rifle has a smaller clip. And finally, for Garden Warfare, play Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 2. It's such a good game.